What's going on, everybody? This is Sean from the Spooky Horror Show podcast, and yesterday I saw The Backrooms, or Backrooms, as the actual film is called. The web series is The Backrooms, so it's, the movie's great. Right off the bat, I would give this a 9 out of 10. I've been following The Backrooms since Kane's first video. I've played the majority of the games that really don't have anything to do with his version of The Backrooms. Like, his version is his. I have general knowledge of The Backrooms, and like I said, I've watched his videos. Like, I know it. Watching this gave me that unknown sense of dread in the pit of my stomach from the second we end up in the Backrooms. Anytime we're in the Backrooms, I'm just on high alert. My stomach would hurt, and it was never the case watching the web series. Like, that wasn't a thing. It was cool, it was spooky, you'd have some jump scares. It's just been cool in concept to think that, you know, when he was like 16 years old, he fully created by himself in Blender this web phenomenon. Not the Backrooms as a whole. That was an anonymous 4chan post. I don't think we can ever go back and figure out who posted the original image. We have the image, but we can't find it because it's the whole point of it is it's anonymous. But this version with async is his creation, and the mystery surrounding it is really cool. But I've never been scared watching it. It's been cool to see like how he goes about and like his thought process and where he puts the details. I feel like his other series, The Oldest View, is way scarier, especially with the rolling giant. But in his feature film debut, for some reason, the second Clark enters the Backrooms and this jump scare happens, it was from that point on, there was just like a knot in my stomach anytime we were back in the room, in the Backrooms. Chiwetel Ejiofor, phenomenal in the film. His slow descent is just amazing. What little we see of Mark Duplass is great. Renate Reinswa, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Not completely sure. She was great. I have seen people complain that they didn't understand why we focused on Clark throughout the majority of the film just to switch to this new character. And I wonder I think to myself, after seeing reviews and then going to see it myself, is media literacy really that dead that no one realizes that the character of Mary is like the first character we see in the film? She's the protagonist throughout it. Yes, Clark is a protagonist as well, but Mary is also a protagonist. We get like equal time with both of them. So I don't know why people are like, oh, I don't understand why we changed to her. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the hate. It doesn't make sense to me. The scares were great when we had them, because the Backrooms is more that ever-present sense of dread. Things will move. It basically comes down to, when you're in there, you can't trust your eyes. You don't know if something is alive or if it's dead. You don't know if it's a cardboard cutout of something or if it's a real thing. You don't know. And on top of the constant, just bright fluorescent lights and everything just yellow. Oh, just thinking about it, like, gets like that feeling in my throat. And I don't know why. Like I said, I've watched all of Kane Pixel's YouTube series. I've watched lore breakdowns from Game Theorist, Film Theorist, Wendigoon, Dead Meat Podcast, like the Dead Meat channel. They've done stuff talking about it too. So I've seen a lot of Backrooms content, and it's never really done anything to me. But for some reason, sitting in a big theater, and maybe it was the surround sound and the audio mixing, the sound of the lights in the back room, that constant hum, the kind of hollow sound of the back rooms, like there's an echo through it, but it's a muted echo. Like it's that sound you get where something is super like sound treated, you know, like where they're like, oh, you can hear a pin drop, but like the pin drop is so loud because of it. That's what the back rooms feels like. It's that insane. Kane Parsons and Will Sudik did a great job writing it. Kane did a great job directing it. All the actors are great. I wish that there was a little bit more found footage stuff, but I understand that we're telling an overall story. Not everything has to be found footage, so that when you get like the sprinkle of stuff in there that's found footage, it'll pop more. But I would like to see more found footagey stuff. And I already know that Kane has said he's not done with the Backrooms. The YouTube series is continuing, and I think there's more that's going to happen, possibly a sequel film. And I forget where. It might have been while talking to Wendigoon. He told Isaiah that there's a story that he wants to tell, but it would have to be told in a TV series, like an actual like proper format. Like just doing it all in Blender like won't work. The set design is great, but we already knew that would be good, considering he built everything in Blender for his web series, and he essentially did the same thing for the film. He built out exactly what he wanted to see, and pretty much everyone across the board said that is super helpful, because then you can use that for storyboarding. You know where cameras have to go, you know, like you can figure out blocking and everything, because you could just pop in to the Blender file and figure out exactly where you need to go, and then they can take those exact references that he made and they turned it into a 30,000 square foot like backrooms and everything. So now they're walking around like a legit backrooms, and it's like in the back of my throat. I just don't. I'm probably gonna go see it again. I really like it. I think it cost like 10 million to make, and I think on Thursday night alone it made like 10.8. So it's a hit. People are liking it. Of course I was gonna go see it because it's a horror movie, and you know, podcast we cover horror. But the kiddo loves the Backrooms. He loves all that stuff. He loves the games. So I was taking him, and the wife didn't want to go, but I was like, you gotta go. So she went, and the second they got into the Backrooms, she was just uncomfortable. And she knew a little bit about the Backrooms as well, but she as well was uncomfortable the whole time. And it's like outside, the personal dramas and everything, and the character development was great, and it kind of feels like a reprieve from going into just like the incorrect facsimile. Like the Backrooms doesn't feel correct. Walking in, things just don't feel correct, and it's one of those things that the second you see it, you're like, yeah, something's not right. So whenever we're inside of it, you just feel that. So I would recommend people go see this movie. Like, it's a lot of fun. I recommend, if you don't fully understand what the Backrooms is, there's a lot of lore. It's a lot like, for anyone that does know SCP, where people just add their own lore. They just add shit. But that's not Kane's stuff. Kane has a very specific story that he's telling, so you can't go by all the lore of the Backrooms to try to connect this stuff. You have to specifically look at the the overall story that Kane Parsons is telling through his YouTube series and now the feature film, and hopefully another feature film, more of the YouTube series, possibly a series on something. It'd be awesome. This is a 9 out of 10 film. I'm docking a point because of, I think it was like halfway through the film, I was sitting there and I legit, it had to be the sound. It had to be the sound design. I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and they're walking through the back rooms and I have this feeling like I want to vomit. And I don't know what it is because it's like nothing's happening. They're just exploring at this point. And I wanted to vomit. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like watching a film and having that feeling like I'm so uncomfortable I want to vomit. So yeah, 9 out of 10 on, or if we're going by the Spooky Horror Show rating, it would be a 4 out of 10, a 4 out of 5. This is a great film. This is, if you don't know much about the Backrooms stuff, I would recommend watching Kane's YouTube series. I'm sure there's like a playlist set up that has like all just specifically his stuff. If even that's a little bit confusing, I think Wendigoon just recently put out, I think like an hour and a half, 2 hour long video explaining the timeline of the Backrooms web series leading up to the film, because it's like time jumps and it's all weird. I believe Nightmind also has stuff on it as well that talks about the lore and everything like that. So you could go there, check all that out to see if like this is something you'd want. But I'm telling you, this is awesome. Go watch this movie. All right. Bye.